The year 2016 saw the birth of a political phenomenon that would reshape the landscape of American politics, the MAGA movement. Emerging from the fervent crowds of Donald Trump's presidential campaign, MAGA, short for Make America Great Again, quickly evolved from a catchy slogan into a powerful rallying cry for a significant portion of the American electorate. Trump, with his brash style and populist message, tapped into a vein of discontent among voters who felt left behind by globalization and ignored by the political establishment. These voters, many of whom were working-class Americans who had experienced economic hardship and felt their values were under attack, resonated with Trump's promises to bring back jobs, renegotiate trade deals, and put America first. The MAGA movement became a potent symbol of their frustrations and aspirations, uniting them under a common banner of national pride, economic nationalism, and a yearning for a return to what they perceived as a bygone era of American greatness. Trump's unconventional campaign, fueled by social media and characterized by his fiery rhetoric and attacks on political correctness, further energized his base. He spoke directly to their anxieties, promising to drain the swamp of Washington corruption and restore America to its former glory. The MAGA movement, with its emphasis on American strength and a rejection of perceived globalist policies, provided a powerful narrative that resonated deeply with those seeking change and a leader who promised to fight for them. This potent mix of economic anxiety, cultural resentment, and a charismatic leader proved to be a winning formula in 2016, propelling Trump to an unexpected victory and ushering in a new era in American politics, one deeply shaped by the MAGA movement and its unwavering belief in the promise of making America great again. At the heart of the MAGA movement lies a deeply ingrained belief in the America First agenda. More than just a slogan, America First represents a fundamental shift in foreign and domestic policy, prioritizing American interests above all else. This nationalist approach, with its roots in American history, resonates with MAGA supporters who believe that the United States has for too long prioritized the needs of other nations at the expense of its own citizens. The America First agenda advocates for a strong and assertive foreign policy, focused on reducing foreign entanglements and prioritizing American security interests. It calls for a re-evaluation of alliances, a reduction in foreign aid, and a more skeptical approach to international organizations. Instead of acting as the world's policeman, proponents of America First argue that the United States should focus on its own national interests, using its military might only when absolutely necessary to protect those interests. On the domestic front, America First translates into policies designed to protect American jobs and industries. This includes renegotiating trade deals deemed unfair to American workers, imposing tariffs on goods from countries seen as engaging in unfair trade practices, and promoting American manufacturing. The goal is to revitalize the American economy by encouraging domestic production and consumption, reducing reliance on foreign goods and labor. Central to the America First agenda is a firm stance on immigration, advocating for stricter border controls and a reduction in both legal and illegal immigration. Proponents argue that mass immigration depresses wages, strains social services, and poses a threat to national security. They believe in prioritizing American citizens and protecting American jobs from what they see as unfair competition from foreign labor. The America First agenda, with its focus on national sovereignty and economic nationalism, has had a profound impact on the MAGA movement's stance on key policy issues such as immigration, trade, and deregulation. These issues, often intertwined, have become central to the MAGA agenda, shaping its approach to domestic and foreign policy alike. On immigration, the MAGA movement has taken a hardline stance, calling for stricter border security measures, including the construction of a wall along the US-Mexico border and a significant reduction in both legal and illegal immigration. This stance is driven by the belief that mass immigration undermines American wages, burdens social services, and poses a threat to national security. MAGA supporters argue that prioritizing American citizens and protecting American jobs requires stricter control over who is allowed to enter and work in the United States. Trade is another area where the MAGA movement's influence is clearly evident. Embracing the principles of economic nationalism, MAGA supporters advocate for trade policies that prioritize American workers and industries. This has translated into support for renegotiating trade deals perceived as unfair to American businesses, imposing tariffs on goods from countries accused of unfair trade practices, and promoting American manufacturing. Deregulation is another key tenet of the MAGA movement's economic agenda. MAGA supporters argue that excessive government regulations stifle economic growth and innovation, placing unnecessary burdens on businesses and hindering job creation. They advocate for a rollback of regulations across various industries, believing that a freer market with less government interference will lead to greater prosperity for all Americans. These policy positions, deeply rooted in the America First agenda, have come to define the MAGA movement's approach to governing, shaping its legislative priorities and influencing its rhetoric on a wide range of issues. In 2024, Donald Trump clinched a decisive victory, marking a significant resurgence for the MAGA movement. This win wasn't just a political triumph, it was a reaffirmation of the America First agenda. Supporters felt invigorated, believing that their vision for the country was back on track. The landscape of American politics began to shift once again, with renewed energy and a sense of purpose driving the movement forward. This moment, undeniably, set the stage for the next chapter in the ongoing story of MAGA. The LDS, or Latter-day Saints community, has had a complex relationship with Trump and the MAGA movement. While some members have been supportive, others have expressed concerns over the movement's rhetoric and policies. This division reflects the broader national conversation, highlighting the varied perspectives within this religious group. Within the GOP, there has been notable resistance to the MAGA movement. Many traditional Republicans have pushed for moderation, seeking to maintain the party's core values while distancing themselves from the more extreme elements. This internal struggle illustrates the ongoing battle for the soul of the Republican Party. Navigating the influence of the MAGA movement has been a challenge for many politicians and public figures. Some have embraced it wholeheartedly, while others have tried to strike a balance, acknowledging its impact while advocating for a more inclusive and unifying approach. This delicate navigation underscores the movement's significant and sometimes polarizing role in American politics. The enduring impact of the MAGA movement on American politics cannot be overstated. It has reshaped political discourse, redefined party lines, and influenced policy decisions at all levels of government. As we move forward, the legacy of MAGA will continue to be a topic of discussion and analysis, shaping the future of the political landscape in the United States. As we look ahead, the future trajectory of the MAGA movement remains a subject of intense debate and speculation. Political analysts and experts offer diverse perspectives on how this movement will influence upcoming elections and the broader political landscape. GAP2S. Some analysts believe that the MAGA movement will continue to hold significant sway within the Republican Party, driving its agenda and candidate selection processes. They argue that the movement's emphasis on populism and nationalism resonates deeply with a large segment of the American electorate, ensuring its continued relevance in future elections. GAP2S. Others, however, caution that the movement's polarizing nature could lead to further divisions within the GOP, potentially alienating moderate voters. These experts suggest that the party may need to strike a balance between embracing MAGA principles and appealing to a broader, more diverse voter base to secure electoral victories. GAP2S. Beyond the Republican Party, the influence of the MAGA movement is also expected to impact Democratic strategies. Political experts predict that Democrats will need to address the concerns of MAGA supporters to some extent, potentially leading to shifts in their policy platforms and campaign tactics. GAP2S. As we approach upcoming elections, the enduring legacy of the MAGA movement will undoubtedly shape political strategies, candidate platforms, and voter engagement efforts. The movement's ability to adapt and evolve will play a crucial role in determining its impact on the future of American politics. GAP2S. In conclusion, the MAGA movement's influence on the political landscape is far from over. Its future trajectory will be closely watched by political analysts, experts, and voters alike as it continues to shape the direction of American politics in the years to come. As we delve deeper into the MAGA movement, it's crucial to place it within a broader context of global populist movements. Across the world, populist leaders have risen to power, each with unique strategies yet sharing common themes of nationalism, anti-establishment sentiments, and promises to return power to the people. GAP2S. In Europe, leaders like Viktor Orban in Hungary and Marine Le Pen in France have utilized populism to galvanize support. Much like MAGA, these movements often focus on strict immigration policies, economic nationalism, and skepticism of global institutions. However, their strategies also reflect regional concerns, such as the European Union's influence and historical national identities, GAP2S. In Latin America, populist movements have taken a different tone. Leaders like Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil and Andrés Manuel López Obrador in Mexico have tapped into frustrations with corruption and economic inequality. While MAGA emphasizes a return to traditional American values, Latin American populists often focus on radical social and economic reforms to address systemic issues. GAP2S. Despite these differences, a common thread among these movements is their ability to communicate directly with their base, often bypassing traditional media channels. Social media has played a pivotal role, allowing populist leaders to craft narratives that resonate deeply with their supporters. GAP2S. The impact of these movements is profound, reshaping political landscapes and challenging established norms. In the United States, MAGA has forced both major parties to rethink their strategies and policies. Globally, populist movements have similarly disrupted traditional politics, leading to significant shifts in governance and policy-making. GAP2S. As we compare and contrast these movements, it becomes clear that while their contexts differ, the underlying forces driving populism share striking similarities. Economic anxiety, cultural identity, and a sense of disenfranchisement are powerful motivators that transcend borders. GAP2S. In conclusion, the MAGA movement is part of a larger global wave of populism that continues to shape political dynamics worldwide. Understanding this broader context helps us appreciate the complexities and potential future trajectories of populist movements both in the United States and beyond. GAP2S. Stay tuned as we continue to explore the evolving landscape of global politics and the enduring impact of populism. As we delve deeper into the MAGA movement, it's crucial to understand the role of social media in its rise and spread. Platforms like Twitter and Facebook have been instrumental in shaping the narrative and mobilizing support. GAP2S. Social media allows direct communication between leaders and their followers, bypassing traditional media channels. For the MAGA movement, this has meant unfiltered access to Trump's thoughts and policies, often delivered in real time. GAP2S. Twitter, in particular, became a digital megaphone for Trump. His tweets, whether controversial or policy-driven, sparked immediate reactions and discussions, creating a constant buzz around his presidency. This direct line of communication helped solidify his base, who felt they were hearing directly from their leader without media distortion. GAP2S. Facebook, on the other hand, has been a platform for community building. MAGA supporters have used Facebook groups to organize events, share news, and reinforce their collective identity. These groups have become echo chambers, where like-minded individuals can rally around common beliefs and objectives. GAP2S. The influence of social media extends beyond just communication. It has also been a tool for political strategy. Campaigns have used data analytics to target specific demographics, tailoring messages that resonate with individual voters. This micro-targeting has made political advertising more effective and personal. GAP2S. However, the impact of social media is not without controversy. The spread of misinformation and the role of algorithms in shaping public opinion have raised concerns. Echo chambers can reinforce biases and polarize communities, making constructive dialogue more challenging. GAP2S. Despite these challenges, there's no denying that social media has fundamentally changed the way political movements operate. For MAGA, it has been a double-edged sword, providing both a powerful platform for mobilization and a battleground for ideological conflicts. GAP2S. In conclusion, the digital landscape has played a pivotal role in the rise and spread of the MAGA movement. As we continue to navigate this digital age, understanding the influence of social media on political dynamics remains crucial. GAP2S. Stay tuned as we further explore the evolving landscape of global politics and the enduring impact of populism. As we transition from the digital pulse of the MAGA movement, it's essential to explore the economic policies advocated by MAGA and their effects on different sectors of the American economy. One of the cornerstones of the MAGA agenda has been tax reform. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 aimed to stimulate economic growth by reducing corporate tax rates and providing tax relief for individuals. Proponents argue that these tax cuts have led to increased investment, job creation, and higher wages. However, critics contend that the benefits have disproportionately favored the wealthy and have significantly increased the national debt. Trade policy has also been a significant focus for MAGA. Trump's administration implemented tariffs on imports from China and other countries, aiming to protect American industries and reduce the trade deficit. This protectionist approach has had mixed results. While some domestic industries have benefited from reduced foreign competition, others have faced higher costs for imported materials, leading to increased prices for consumers. Deregulation has been another key aspect of MAGA's economic policy. The Trump administration rolled back numerous regulations, particularly in the energy and financial sectors. Supporters argue that this deregulation has unleashed economic potential, spurring growth and innovation. However, opponents warn of the long-term environmental and financial risks associated with reduced oversight. Agriculture is one sector that has felt the direct impact of MAGA's policies. Farmers have experienced both challenges and opportunities. Tariffs have disrupted export markets, leading to financial strain for some agricultural producers. In response, the government provided subsidies to support farmers affected by trade disputes. At the same time, deregulation efforts have aimed to reduce the burden on agricultural businesses, promoting growth and efficiency. In the manufacturing sector, MAGA's focus on bringing jobs back to America has resonated with many workers. Initiatives to revitalize manufacturing have included tax incentives and tariffs designed to encourage domestic production. While some manufacturing jobs have returned, automation and global competition continue to pose significant challenges. In conclusion, the economic policies championed by the MAGA movement have had far-reaching effects on various sectors of the American economy. From tax reform and trade policy to deregulation and support for specific industries, these policies have shaped the economic landscape in complex and often controversial ways. As we continue to analyze the legacy of MAGA, understanding its economic impact is crucial for comprehending its broader influence on American society. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the ongoing evolution of political movements and their lasting effects on our world. As we conclude our exploration of the MAGA movement and its economic impact, it's imperative to delve into the broader legacy and long-term implications for American politics and society. The MAGA movement, with its distinctive blend of populism and nationalism, has left an indelible mark on the political landscape. From reshaping the Republican Party to influencing national discourse, the movement has redefined what it means to be a conservative in America. The slogans, rallies, and policies have not only energized a significant portion of the electorate but also deepened political divisions. The fervor and loyalty of MAGA supporters have proven to be a formidable force, one that continues to challenge traditional political dynamics. However, the legacy of MAGA is not without controversy. The movement's approach to immigration, trade, and regulation has sparked intense debate, with critics arguing that it has exacerbated social and economic inequalities. The focus on America First policies has also raised questions about the country's role on the global stage and its relationships with international allies. In the realm of media and communication, MAGA has harnessed the power of digital platforms to amplify its message, creating a new era of political engagement and activism. This digital revolution has democratized information dissemination, but has also contributed to the spread of misinformation and heightened polarization. As we look to the future, the enduring impact of MAGA will likely be felt in upcoming elections and the ongoing evolution of political movements. Whether it serves as a blueprint for future populist endeavors or a cautionary tale of division, its influence on American society is undeniable. In the end, the MAGA movement's legacy will be shaped by how it is remembered and interpreted by future generations. Its long-term implications will continue to unfold, influencing the direction of American politics and the fabric of society for years to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the MAGA movement and its multifaceted impact. Stay tuned as we continue to analyze and understand the ever-changing landscape of political and social movements.